Welcome back to Flow Sports and Flow Football. I'm James Verrett. Now we're joined by the head coach of the Blazers of Valdosta State in his third season, Tremaine Jackson. And we're also joined by the quarterback, Sammy Edwards. Thank you so very much for joining us. And co-champions last year, quarterfinalists in the Division II playoffs. When you look back at the season, do you say mission accomplished, or has the mission still continues for that national championship?
Yeah, the mission always continues. There's only one team that's going to be happy at the end of every year on every level, and that's the team that holds up the national championship trophy. However, I will say we do value the growth that we had in year two, and I don't think anybody in our building is satisfied by any means with what we did. We just do value the growth, and we look forward to continuing to grow and get better.
Last season, at what point did you see a championship quality team? At what point in the season did you say, okay, I think we've got something that can really grow here?
Yeah, probably in fall camp. Man, we put our guys through the rigor in fall camp. I'm old school. Like all this doing massages and all that in fall camp, we just don't do that at Valdosta. We out the mud, man. And so in fall camp, I said our guys that make it through fall camp and they grow together and the way they continue to learn to love each other, I felt like we might be able to do something. And there was no guarantees, but we certainly felt really good about it.
You had a lot of people around that were maybe naysayers after year one, year two, year three. I see you smiling. How gratifying was it that all the hard work that you put in finally started to show some results?
It would be gratifying if we listened to anybody else outside of our building, but we don't. We just don't. We got a lot of great fans, a lot of great people that supported us in spite of the way year one went, and so we don't listen to that. We know what we came here to do. And so we haven't got there yet. We're continuing to improve, and so we're looking forward to continuing to show that. If I spend all my time looking at Facebook and Twitter and seeing what people said about us, I probably wouldn't be doing my job very well. So naysayers or doubters or whatever they're called, I'm glad they got something to do. The Blazers are looking forward to 24.
Preseason, they have you ranked atop the Gulf South Conference. How do you like those high expectations, and is that what you came to Valdosta to bring back?
No, we came here to be standing there on the podium at the end in McKinney, Texas. That's why we came. We make no qualms about that. We don't believe in the pre, we believe in the post. And so we're trying to get ourselves to where we can get to the postseason and be the very best that there is. And we won't know what that is until we get there, but that's cute. I think that some of our guys say that's cute, but that's cap too. We know what that can be. We're just trying to be better each week.
Offensively, how many guys do you have coming back, and what can we see to improve upon an offense that was very explosive and very effective last season?
Yeah, I don't know how many guys are coming back. We live in the age where you don't know till you get to fall camp who's coming back, right? Here's what I'll say about offensively. We got Sammy Edwards. He's a quarterback. I know he's back because I brought him here today. And so we know that we got some people that we can put around him to make our offense better. I think when you talk to him, he's going to tell you that we need to improve on offense. It looked like a good year to the outside, but there's a lot of things that we need to do better on offense. I'm really excited. We turned over a whole offensive staff, basically. What happens at Valdosta State, when you win, people come get your people. And so we get excited about that, but I think we've replaced them and upgraded in those areas. And so we look forward to going out and proving that who we are on offense and who we really want to be.
Schematically, and as far as your philosophy, even though you do have new coaches, are we expecting to see the same Blazer team that we've come to see under your leadership?
Depends on who we have in fall camp. We're not afraid to change and morph to what we have. I could be stubborn and say we're going to be X, Y, and Z no matter what, and then we get to fall camp and know how the players for that. We're going to adapt and become what we are and what we have in the building. And so certainly not going to tell anybody at Media Day what we plan to do. And so we just look forward to getting in the building August 6th and finding out what we have, and then we'll go from there on what we want to be.
And when you say you're going to find out what you have, the recruiting still continues for you. This is sort of like Back to the Future as far as the transfer portal and things of that nature. You're still trying to go under the rocks and try to find some talent that you can bring back to the Blazers?
Absolutely, every day. Every day when I walk out of here, we're going to make some recruiting phone calls. Recruiting is like shaving. If you don't do it every day, it looks bad after a while. And so we want to make sure that we continue to do that and add any piece that can fit what we're trying to do to make our football program better.
How much has that changed now? Because you can sign some guys, you have the transfer portal, things of that nature. You still have a list of, okay, we still need this, we still need that,
Yeah.
And you're still searching, correct?
Yeah, it hadn't changed much for us in the way we go about doing things. We've been doing this way for a long time. The world is starting to see how we've been recruiting since 2005. I mean, and coaches know this. This really ain't changed for this level, especially. It looks different because it's happening at a higher level to other people, right? And so we've done this before. We've been very confident in how we go about doing it, and we look forward to continue to do it at a high level.
Let's take a look at your schedule, which is always daunting, especially when you talk about the conference play. But when we go out of conference, it's always going to be pretty good. You're going to face Albany State, which is a team that made it to their conference championship game, at Newberry, which is a defensive power at times, and they've also made it to the playoffs in Division II, Fayetteville State, Erskine, and you really keep going in the conference play. When you look at your schedule, especially at the end, you got two powerhouses right there that you got to go up against. How much did you have a say in that, and do you like having to play power on power right there in the month of November?
Yeah, fortunately for me, I get to control our schedule as the head coach, right? And so we knew what we were getting into. When I got here 2 years ago, this schedule was done. We added to it, and so we know there's no NAIA schools on the schedule like there has been the last 2 years. We got 11 Division II schools, and you talk about powerhouses at the end. I'm talking about a powerhouse at the beginning in Albany State that plays the Valdosta State Blazers to the utmost. Got a lot of respect for how they play us and how they're coached. And so coming out the gate, we don't get a chance to warm up and find out what we got. We got to be clicking. And then you put on the fact that we're playing in week 0 where we've decreased and we only got 21 days to get ready for a really good football team. So we got a lot of issues we got to get done, but we look at our schedule and we like where we are, and we look forward to competing week in and week out.
What is your formula to create chemistry? Because you're going to bring in some guys, maybe transfers, a lot of freshmen, things of that nature. And just as you said, you got 21 days.
Yeah.
How do you create chemistry in such a short time?
I think that's really a question for Sammy, but I will tell you, we just go about our business a different way. And our players that have been here with us, Sammy's a guy that's been here with me since I got here. And he's been through the downs and some ups. And so I think our players do a really good job in the locker room of telling new guys how we do things, and it just works for us.
All right, Mr. Edwards, you're the signal caller for this offense and a championship-level offense. When you look at what you did last year into this year, what can we expect to see from you?
Yeah, not totally, happy with the performance. I mean, we had a good year, but it's not even close to what we're expecting this year. So, like Coach Jack said, had a lot of turnover with coaches, but there was a lot of stuff that we can improve on. So, look forward to doing that.
Are you always a soft-spoken guy, or do you transform when you get on the field?
I don't know. I've been told I'm soft-spoken. People tell me to talk with my chest, but I'm usually pretty mellow. But
I hear you. As far as calling this offense, is it a matter of being more cerebral than more physical when you're talking about this offense?
Right, 100%. I'm a big guy, big believer in film, big believer in preparation. So I think the mental aspect of football is, trumps the physical aspect. So.
How do you create chemistry on an offense that sometimes you've got some pieces that are coming in and you're just being introduced to them right when fall camp starts?
Yeah, it's a super fine line. You have to show the guys that they're welcome, show the guys that, you're in it with them, but you also have to show them how we do things. So they might have past experiences with their school and how they do things, but we do things a certain way. But yeah, I'll always welcome the new guys. The guys we have, I think, do a good job welcoming those guys in. So it's usually a pretty easy process.
Some fans at home will say that you had some success. You were co-champions. You made it to the quarterfinals. You have some turnover as far as coaches. How much did you help the coaches understand what the Blazer way is offensively?
Yeah, I think it speaks for itself. The Valdosta State culture has been offense heavy, since it began. So I think they understand that, we need to put up points and we need to put them up fast. So
I hear you. Can this offense get faster than what we've seen in the past, and what will it take to get faster?
Yeah, I think we're faster right now than we were last year. I think, we've improved on some areas, and, I think I'm super happy with where we are as a team now. So we all have work to do in these next couple months to get prepared, but I think what we have right now is capable.
The team that you face at practice on the other side defensively, what can we expect to see from them, and do they give you some headaches when you practice against
They
them?
give me a lot of headaches. Coach BA will tell you they run everything under the sun. So every coverage, every look, we say it every time. You know, we'll never get this look in the game, or this is the toughest thing we'll go against all season. So those guys have done a tremendous job over there, tremendous job learning that defense, I think, in the summer. So really excited to see those guys have a good year.
What was the summer like for you? What did you do that was exciting, and what did you do in order to improve your game physically?
Yeah, I don't know if much was exciting. Took a summer semester so I can graduate a little early in the fall. So class, football, you know, I think it's about that time where we've done a lot of training and a little football. So I think everybody's kind of biting at the bit to get started.
I hear you. Coach, when you think about your defense, numbers in this conference as far as yardage, you really have to throw out the window because you're going up against talented teams every single week. What can you expect to see from your defense that can improve from what you had last year?
I think the continuity of the system, being in year 3 in that system, like Sammy said, our defensive coordinator, we run everything. He and I have been together since 2013, right? So we try to give our guys a lot of versatility. We try to make what's simple for us look complex to the offense. And so just them having a lot of confidence and knowing the third down package is better now than we did year 1. The blitz package is better than we did year 1. And so I'm looking forward to seeing those guys improve. Obviously, nobody thinks we have any good football players on defense because everybody always talks about Valdosta State and offense, but you've never seen Valdosta State win when they get outscored. Mm-hmm. And so we got to make sure we play great defense, and that's as a program. Sammy turning the ball over, that's bad defense. And so we talk about that a lot. Anybody turning the ball over is bad defense. So playing great defense at Valdosta State is more than just the defense, but I'm really looking forward to the defense being year 3 in the same system.
When you look at it as far as your defensive coordinator and defensive output, do you try to take in your mind, I'm not necessarily looking at the yardage, but I'm looking at what happens at the end of the game because of the way you have so many high-powered offenses in this league?
Yeah, ultimately we want to win the game, but I do look at the yardage. I do look at the yards per play. You know, when you hear guys in football say they're not numbers guys, it's probably because the numbers ain't in their favor. And so they just try to throw the numbers out, right? We really look at the numbers even when they're not in our favor. And we got to get better. We had some letdowns at the end of the games defensively in the playoff game, our first-round playoff game versus Shawan a year ago. We had some letdowns. And so that's just immature defense. And so we've got to be more mature. We've got to be able to win like we're supposed to win everywhere. And so we're challenged our guys to do that this year. I'm looking forward to them answering that bell.
We talk about the playoffs. I've asked all the coaches. I want to ask you, in lack of a better term, it was sort of like cannibalism when you think about it, the fact that you have to go up against a conference rival so early in the playoffs. What are your thoughts as far as what the NCAA can do in order to fix that situation, and how difficult is it as a coach to say, okay, I'm playing this team in the regular season, but I've got to keep something in my back pocket because I may have to play them 2 weeks later?
Yeah. You know, as a coach, you don't want to play somebody you just played, especially not in our conference. That is not what you want to do. And it's a shame because I think we have enough talent in this league to where we might be able to end up in a championship game like what happens in the FCS and even in the FBS. I will say this. We've got to improve our giving our young people an experience. Sometimes I feel like we just sweep us under the rug a little bit, and in essence, you're not sweeping us under the rug. You're sweeping our young people under the rug. If they chose Division II, if they want to be here, then we need to be able to give them a high-level experience and not use the fact that we're Division II to give them a second-rate experience. And so let's make sure we're doing our young people the right way because these are our boosters. These are our future donors that are coming back. This guy's going to be extremely successful, and I'm going to have to ask him for $100,000 later on. And so I don't want him not getting anything from being in a playoff game to just give me 50. You know what I mean? So I want to make sure he gives us what the experience that he got. And I think we need to all do better on this level about making sure that our young people are having a great experience and stop trying to save a penny. My grandma used to say, we're robbing Peter to pay Paul, and Paul never gets paid, and Peter never got what he was supposed to get. And so we got to stop doing that to ourselves and make sure our guys get a really good experience. Because as we see now, this world we live in college athletics, if the experience ain't good, they're getting in the portal and they're going other places. And there's a lot of time and effort that goes into coaching and recruiting these guys. We don't want to lose that simply because somebody's trying to save a buck.
All right, Coach. Thank you so very much. Good luck to both of you as you guys face Albany State coming up this fall. Stay tuned. We'll have more right here from the Winfrey Hotel in Hoover, Alabama for the Gulf South Conference 2024 Football Media Day right here on Flow Sports.